5:39 p.m. Okay, I think we've nailed it. We are live. We did it just before we got timed out. Okay,
Perfect.
good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wine Shine Quarantine. And I know you guys have been looking forward to this evening because we have this superstar on our show, and I'm trying to stay away from my computer because it's sizzling. It's sizzling, and she's having a cuppa along with looking so hot. Lakshmi, thanks for joining me today. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much, Shalini. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you.
You just look magical sitting at home and having a cup of coffee or walking that ramp. You just look simply magical. It's amazing to
Thank
see you
you.
like this. And this is
Thank
so
you.
refreshing. Lakshmi, I was reading a bit about you before we got chatting today. But I think that I don't know how many people have gone out there and read about you. So I want you to share Lakshmi to Supermodel Lakshmi, that journey with us.
Oh my God, it's a very long journey, Shals, but I'll keep it short. And I will tell you that I started my journey 20 years ago. And that's a long time to be in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
And I started with a very small contest in Dehradun, which is called the Navy Queen. And, I started getting these offers. I became the Navy Queen in Dehradun, which is like such a sweet thing to do when you're really uh, all about 17 years of age. And I started getting these offers from event companies. And my mom told me that you're nothing doing. You're not going for all these um, small shows, whatever that happens. Either you concentrate on your studies, or you try at a big platform, which is something like Miss India. And that was great advice, honestly. And I totally give it to my mom because I feel even today it's important to get into the industry through a very stable and a good platform. And I think that is true for any industry, honestly. So tried for Miss India, meaning I just got a portfolio done and I sent my pictures and I got selected. And this was year 2000. And Lara Datta, Priyanka Chopra, Dia Mirza, me, and another girl called Gayatri from from Chennai, we were the top five that year. And I got catapulted into Fashion Week 2001, and that was it. Because once you get into Fashion Week, and I always wanted to be a ramp and a print model. I was not interested in movies, so I got catapulted into the Fashion Week 2001, where just about everybody who was walking the ramp that time were stars. There was Madhu at that point of time, who was people at the top. Madhu was actually leaving. That was one of her last things that she did. Madhu, Sheetal Mallar, Bipasha Basu with her last Fashion Week that year. And there were some incredible women who were supermodels at that point of time. I was just a little fresher and lots to learn from them. And that's how the journey started, And so I was lucky, and I think it was a good way to go. That was a very very
So I think if I understand the luck part of it that you're saying, but I've realized that, it is the entire package. If you really see the women who made it to the supermodel story, and people have a different perception, but I think the people that make it is a combination of luck, good looks, and brains. So for the
absolutely.
models out there who are thinking that they can just be a pretty dumb face, it's not true. Because if you see all the people doing well in your industry are actually very intelligent women, and they have a vision and they know where they're going and what they want. So this myth has to be broken, and that's why this conversation was important, because there's a lot of girls trying to get in this story, and they should understand that education is a very important part as well, and they should not give up their education and do this. And in fact, you would be the right person to advise them on this.
Absolutely, because I remember even through all that, because I was only 19 when I got into this. Even through all that, I did finish my graduation. I'm a graduate in science and chemistry and maths. I did still pursue my courses, like I did a human rights course. I have been active in that. I feel education does play a very, very important role, not only because you need it, you need a degree, but it is also to kind of groom yourself into thinking correctly, into making yourself aware of what is going on and how you're supposed to react to situations. I feel education really makes a difference there. Apart from that, I feel a model is an institution, is a business in herself. Now, at that point of time, there were no agencies. And I was my own manager. I was managing administratively, I was managing myself, which is, having my own space, my own car, managing my finances, managing my health. So it is like a full on package, and also managing my profession in the sense that what work should I take up and what work should I not pick up. So it is a whole package, as you said. And if you are disciplined and focused, and people see that in you. So the industry also sees people who are motivated, who are disciplined and focused, and hence they also get that kind of work. So yes, it is extremely important to understand that a model's job is just not walking around. It is a whole lot of it. There is she is a business by herself, and
Yeah.
the intelligent ones manage it well, and the ones who don't, unfortunately, come to a point where they don't know what to do after 20 years. So,
Yeah.
and also, profession is short-lived. So, if you do not manage your finances well, you wouldn't have anything to show when, by the time you finish your modeling days.
Lakshmi, I want to ask you, you brought up something about the fact that you had your own car and you were taking care of yourself and doing everything by yourself, which is what brought me to this question that considering the current circumstances, there's a lot of people, girls who've left their homes and gone to Bombay with the dream. And suddenly life has come to a standstill. So, what is the fashion industry doing, and what are the plans ahead as far as the fashion weeks are concerned? Are you all thinking something digital? What's the story? You must be clued in on this.
Sure. Um, the fashion industry is one of the hardest hit at the moment, and so are many other industries. But the fashion industry is, and the luxury industry has been badly hit. Now, when it comes to models, I feel there is what I see in the near future. There will be digital fashion weeks coming in. FDC has announced something. There are other event companies also who are looking at doing digital fashion weeks. I feel that even designers are going to do, standalone digital fashion shows where they showcase their designs, be it couture or be it ready to wear. And this will all be done digitally. For that, they will need models. And and not only models, I feel the future is at stake also for makeup artists, for backstage managers, for light technicians, and a lot of them. I feel since everything is going digital, yes, work has been affected a lot, and I don't think the kind of work that we used to do as models before, that we are working back to back, that's not going to happen for some time now, because I feel ramp is to a large extent, even after COVID, to a large extent has been hit. Ramp walks or ramp modeling. So
Yeah.
I feel we as models need to reinvent ourselves as well. For the ones who have just entered the industry, there is a lot of scope because there is so much more they can do apart from only modeling. And today I feel just doing modeling is not enough, because this is all going to go digital now. So it is very important that we take this time that we have for ourselves, and figure out things that interest us and things that we can pursue to gain some kind of a talent to actually monetize it in future. So this is the perfect time. I mean, you will not get this time again. I have been thinking of so many projects that I wanted to do, but because I was working back to back, I could never sit down and do it. So this time that I've been working on those projects to make them happen. So by the time things start opening up, maybe I'll be ready with it. And that I would not have ever got. That time I wouldn't have ever maybe got if I did not have this time to myself. And this is forced self time, right? This has been
I
forced
think
on everybody.
Yeah, I think it's also a positive mindset because you're just that person. You always take everything head on and say, you know what, now we've got to deal with this situation, which really makes a difference in life. I'm very
Yeah.
curious, at what point, since I've seen you to be a supermodel for as long as I've known you almost. So at what point did you think that you were going to do the conventional route of marriage and babies? And I mean, you have a beautiful daughter. At what point did you think that that was a part of the whole journey that you wanted?
Well, honestly, I think it's just these are things that just happen. It's not something that you plan. Yes, my parents would have wanted me to get married or something at a particular age or whatever. But at that point of time, when I was working initially, starting from the age of 19, I was a lot into my work. And because I decided that I will stay by myself in Delhi, I was running a full-fledged apartment and a full-fledged house to myself. Like I was cooking, I had a drawing room, I had a kitchen, I was doing up my house slowly and steadily as and when the finances would come in. And I actually had a great set of friends. I kept in touch with my school friends. I kept in touch with my friends from Dehradun, and a lot of them had moved to Delhi, so I was in touch with them. So I had a great set of friends. Um, my husband was a friend then as well, and he's the one who's actually guided me through all this process of how to keep a stable head when you're in an industry like the glamour industry. Because in the first 2 years of my modeling, I used to wonder as to, am I not for this industry, or is this industry not for me? Because it takes time for any profession to accept you, and also for you to accept that profession. So it wasn't easy for the first 2 years. It's a whole different life. I come from an army background, which is extremely disciplined, and I come into this world. It's a lot to take, but for the first 2 years, I was guided well, and that friend of mine at that point of time, who's seen me through all this, is the one whom I chose to marry. So it was a very good decision.
And the happily ever after continues for sure.
Yes.
No, I have to ask you this question because I know the viewers are waiting for this, because I did say this was about mind, body, and soul wellness, because that's the person you are and for what I've known you to be. So let's not address the question directly, but let me ask you a typical day in the life of Lakshmi Rana where you would give a focus to both mind, body, and soul, or all three, mind, body, and soul wellness.
Well, let me just start off by saying that fitness and health has been a part of me since the very beginning, meaning even before modeling. When I was in school, I was a sports girl. I was into some running, I was into basketball, I played state for basketball. So fitness and health has always been a part of me. It is not because of my profession. However, it has evolved. My idea of fitness and health has evolved through these years. I have realized that the kind of workout that I did 20 years back is not something that works for me now. So it is about the first thing that I know what works is to know one's own body. And once you know that as to what affects it, what kind of workouts help, what kind of food kind of suits you, then is when your real journey with fitness starts. And a lot of people, I feel, get into fitness because they're looking at other people do something. And that's not the correct way of doing it. Secondly, I feel yoga has made a really big difference to my life. So when I'm telling you about my whole day, I start off with a little bit of meditation in the morning, which is, it's a difficult process for me to meditate, but I still do it because I feel it's extremely important to at least make a practice of it. So I try with 10 to 15 minutes, and I slowly try to increase that time. I do yoga about 4 times a week, and that's not the regular yoga. It is Ashtanga yoga, which is a very, very strenuous form of yoga. I genuinely believe that if I only do Ashtanga yoga, I feel my body will be fit like the way it is um, for a very long period of time. I feel you don't need anything else apart from yoga to keep fit mentally and physically, and to a great extent spiritually if you actually concentrate on that. However, a lot of people find it difficult to do yoga. So I also do about for 3 times a week, I do a bit of HIIT exercises, which is just simple body weight training exercises, which I feel because I have a high metabolic rate, again, knowing one's body is what I'm talking about. Because I have a high metabolic rate, I tend to lose weight very soon if I do a lot of cardio. So I need to keep my muscle mass. I do a little bit of body weight training exercises with a little bit of light weights as well, so that I keep that muscle mass going. So this is my schedule when it comes to my working out. And when it comes to mental health and mental health and whatever comes with it, I feel it's a whole package. My family helps me to keep me mentally sane. The fact that I have always concentrated not only on modeling but other aspects in my life as well, that has helped me keep myself grounded. The fact that I've had friends outside the industry who love me because I'm Lakshmi and not the model Lakshmi, that has kept me grounded. So it's a whole package, and I feel family makes a huge difference too. If you have good relationship with your family and you have good friends around, I think it's the whole package. And also I feel, in an industry where everything is very superficial, uh, and in the sense that it's a lot to do with how you look and how you carry yourself. That is the first thing that a person sees in an industry like the glamour industry, and then comes the personality of the human being. And I feel that if you are, like, for example, me, I have this immense belief in the fact that the person who you are inside and the strength that you feel within is what showcases on your face and your demeanor and the way you walk and the way you talk. And I feel that also helps in your path to success. So if you think that it is only about how you walk and how you look on stage, that is not it. I feel the industry, even though we call it superficial, it's a lot to do with how you feel inside, and that is what kind of projects on stage, on camera, on photographs, on ramp, even through makeup. So yes, it is a whole package. The mental and physical health is a whole package that I believe in.
But so you mentioned that it's very important to be feeling good inside. Now, what happened right now with Sushant Singh Rajput is a very unfortunate incident, and it's so you're also at the top. So, is it in this industry? Is it truly lonely at the top, or you can have friends?
It's the way you live your life. It's a lifestyle choice, honestly. I feel pressures are what maybe a Jawan faces when he's facing the Chinese at the border, or maybe a diplomat faces when he's trying to make peace between two countries. There are different kinds of pressures in life, in this world. And the kind of pressure that we go through is something which cannot be compared to pressures which people in the armed forces probably go through. However, it's the way you deal with it. So so I feel that if you look at Syria and the way the people in Syria have the kind of torture and the kind of stuff that they've gone through, you are pretty much okay. So it's a state of mind. And hence, even if you're at the top, or even if wherever you are, if you do not find peace and contentment within you, you are in a bad space. And what happened with Sushant Singh Rajput is so unfortunate. It. I really felt that he must have gone through hell for him to go through that, go and actually commit that act. Uh, and I have come on some interviews before also when it happened to Nafisa Joseph, it
Yeah.
happened to Viveka Babaji, and these girls were models. Nafisa was a VJ. And I remember talking on NDTV about this and telling them that to handle your own stress is something that one has to work on themselves. If there is a problem, we seek help. However, if you say that there is a lot of stress in this industry, no, there isn't. There isn't. I have never been in competition with anybody. It has always been a competition with my own self. And I have always accepted the fact that whatever I get, I say thank you to the good Lord and move on. Because you will get whatever you are meant to achieve. And all you can do is work hard. And all you can also do is to have good, meaningful, genuine friendships, a good circle around you, which is such a source of strength for you. If you cannot have that, then you're in a bit of trouble.
I agree with you. Well said. I think what you said is exactly how I feel, and I'm glad you voiced it for me. What I'm going to do is something really different, which I've never done on my show, but I wanted to do this with you because you're such a woman who thinks on her feet and so spontaneous and so wise. I say, let me do this. I'm going to do a short rapid fire with you, just to
Okay.
get the zing going. How's that? Okay. So the first question coming up is casting couch. Yes or no?
Not at all. For women, no.
Okay. Who do you stalk on social media?
Who do I stalk on social media? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Flatter
I,
someone.
I'm sorry, this is going to be a little boring, but I stalk a lot of fitness experts, honestly.
Which is good.
Yeah,
Great.
I do.
Your favorite female actor?
Female actor has to be Shabana Azmi.
Wow. Texting or talking?
Talking. Talking. Definitely talking.
Are you politically correct?
Most of the times. I'm an army wife. I have to be.
Do you believe in love at first?
Yes, I do.
How many cups of coffee a day?
I'm trying to keep it at one. I love coffee.
If a movie was made in your life, what genre and what character?
Uh, if a movie was made in my life, it'd be an action movie. And I'd be probably somebody like Wonder Woman, wearing this sexy, body suit with high boots and high heels and just killing people whom I don't like.
That would be a tough one though, because you like most people if I know you.
You'll be surprised, Shaz. You'll be surprised.
That should be my next question. Who will you kill? Okay. Where in the world would you retire?
I want to retire in the hills, somewhere in Uttarakhand.
Nice. Last song you downloaded.
Um, Last song I downloaded, I don't remember. I haven't really been into music for quite a while. I've been working back to back, but that sounds very boring, so I will give you an answer. Um,
Okay. Carbs or protein?
Proteins, of course.
How long do you take to get dressed in the morning if you're going for work?
Half an hour.
That's pretty good. Three things that make you happy.
My family, traveling, and friends.
Nice. How the best age according to you?
I think the beautiful 20s. Yeah.
This-
Oh my God, and how?
If you could trade lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
If I could do what with one person a day?
Trade lives with one person
Trade lives with one person a day. I
for a
don't
day.
know. Maybe with my daughter Navisha, who looks like she's always on some high all the time. She's jumping. The kind of energy she has is unbelievable. Maybe I will be that person. I will trouble my mother like crazy the whole day. Maybe that would be a great trade-off.
I like that. Okay, if you could go on a date, who would it be? This I want to know as well because I'm going with you. So tell me who's the one you're going with. We are sharing.
Oh my God! If I had to go on a date with somebody, I don't know. Maybe the Canadian Prime Minister.
Oh, nice. Okay. He was here recently. You should have. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Ah, okay. Spontaneous, um, loyal, and naughty.
Naughty, yes. And spontaneous, I already said. What's for dinner tonight?
A simple rocket leaf salad and soup.
Awesome. Am I invited? That's not a part of the question.
Always, always. If you're invited, then the menu completely changes into something else.
Yeah, then let's stick to the liquid diet.
Exactly.
which is a phrase or a word that you use very often.
God. Oh God.
That's why he's always
Now what?
referring to you.
Oh God, now what?
A message to all the girls out there who are aspiring to be you.
Um, Build your personality there more than anything else, and develop your own unique style. Stop emulate people, but stop copying them. Be more than what you think you are, uh, and especially for the models out there, your social media, which is so important, needs to reflect more about you as a person than about the clothes that you're wearing and the brands that you are showcasing.
Awesome. So, Lakshmi, also, if I know correctly, you are doing some event business as well, right?
I've been doing some events, yes. I've been
Okay.
conducting some
I
events.
just wanted to mention that because I know that sooner or later people are going to go digital on the events, and they should know that they should be able to reach out to you for even that, because I know you're doing some
Yes.
amazing work there. So I
I've
just wanted to.
also been I've also been creating a website which is going to entail a lot of people who want to get groomed as a model, or as somebody who wants to get into corporates, as anybody who wants to just get groomed generally, and see the supermodel side of things. And all those things that I've learned in the past 20 years, I am working on making that as well, because there have been so many queries through all these years, Charles, that I have realized that that's a good way to give back. And so that website is also coming into order. So let's see, it should soon be launched in a
Wonderful.
few
So
months.
we're excited. We are looking forward. And I have your friends here saying nice things about you. Madhumita is saying that you are naughty Lakshmi. Okay, she's agreeing with you. I have some friends from Monaco who joined and said that they love India because of people like you. So it's been a great session and we've had a lot of fun. And thank you for taking out the time, Lakshmi. This was
Thank
so
you, Shani. This is
fun.
same here. It was absolutely one of the most active and one of the most beautiful lives I've ever done. And as one of the lives where I've laughed a lot, which is great. I think we need more lives like this.
And don't be surprised if I get in the car and I'm at your home in like 10
Oh,
minutes from
please, I would love that. Please, come on
just
there.
surprise you. And thank
We'll
you
do
very much.
one live later after we get there.
Done deal, done deal. So great. I'm going to see you in live, the real now, and I'm going to say bye to everybody who's watching. Thank you so much for watching and being with us. And I want to tell you something that I know we all want to be models, but if you want to be a model like Lakshmi, who's a role model. So that would be my message for today. And keep watching and see you guys soon on Wine Shine Quarantine with
Thank
Charlotte.
you.
See you, love,
Bye bye.
soon.
Bye. See you.